Hello and welcome back to the channel. We are here in the glorious sunshine at Alicante in Spain. The ID.7 is beside us. It's not under camouflage anymore. Let's have a good look around it. We can see the ID design language coming through here again. We've got this light bar that runs all the way from just beside the wheel arch here, daytime running light, all the way across the middle and the top of the headlights. The badge just here, it's not illuminated from launch, although it is allowed now. We've got a camera just here and some sensors underneath as well, because this car has pretty good technology inside it. Little bit of cooling just there. And then as we move around the side, I like this little pinch here, which feeds air through that gap right there and sends air over the wheels just to help with aerodynamics a little bit.
Save €60 when you buy your home insurance online. That makes relaxing at home, well, more relaxing. That's AA Home Insurance for you. Relax. Yellow and black have got your back.
This is a great angle to see the overall shape of the ID.7. Personally, I'm delighted that it's not another SUV. It's great to see this going fully electric. But here at the front, look at the short overhangs. That's thanks to the MEB platform, where you get to send those wheels out with the battery pack in the middle, almost like a skateboard design. So really short overhangs. Good angle also to see the IQ light there, and it's almost like a human eyeball as it hunts and moves around. We are on the 20-inch alloys here. Aero effect on those as well. Every bit of range helps. Now, another thing that I want to point out here is the height of it. So not that tall at all, 1.5 meters, just over 1.5 meters tall. That'll help with the drag coefficient as well, which comes in at 0.23. Now, it's not the best in the world, but it is very good, helping you eke out a little bit more range. Another thing you'll notice is the distance between the wheels. So this has a wheelbase of 2.97 meters, allows us to pack a lot more inside the car, extra space for passengers and so on. This is where we have the filler cap just here, and then we can see this sloping roofline at the back, kind of a fastback style. Gets a little bit more space in the boot just there. And I think it cuts a really, really nice shape. Overall, it's a big car, just shy of 5 meters in length. So here we are at the back of the ID.7, and let's open it up and have a look inside. So we've got a really good sized boot in here, 532 litres of space. And because of that kind of fastback styling, the aperture is really, really wide. So if you've got buggies or big bags, travel suitcases, you can fit them in quite easily. We've got a couple of levers just here, tow hooks where you can drop the back seats down. There's a little bit more space under the floor. This is kind of modular where we can move it all around a bit, which is great to see. And also it's a flat floor, so as you want to load packages in and out, that makes it a lot easier. As with any electric vehicle, range is hugely important, and your range depends largely on the size of the battery in the car. Now, the ID.7 does a really good job of efficiency of not just the motor, but aerodynamics as well. But as we said, the battery is crucially important. So we're talking about that skateboard platform there and the battery being stuffed in underneath. Now, as with the MEB platform we've seen now for a couple of years, it's 77 kilowatt hours usable. But the ID.7 has that extra large wheelbase, and that gives us a chance to stuff a couple more modules into the battery. So then we're going from 77 kilowatt hours usable up to 86. That helps range, obviously. So you're looking at a WLTP figure of about 615 kilometers for the slightly smaller battery, but thanks to the extra modules in, now we're up to about 700 kilometers WLTP range. Of course, that may be a little bit optimistic at times. Barreling down the motorway in winter, you'll probably knock a little bit off that. But either way, it's hugely impressive. And the fact that we can fill up at really high speeds again means this thing is going to be pretty tidy to move you around the country. Anybody used to the ID range so far will feel very comfortable in here. It's largely familiar, but there are a couple of really important differences. Now, the steering wheel is almost identical. We've got those kind of haptic style buttons just there. You do get used to them. The gear selector just behind here, D and B mode for that extra bit of regen. So there's no handbrake. There's also no start stop button here. You simply just put your foot on the brake and it'll start up the car. Like the materials that they've gone for. Now, obviously, we're treated to a good spec just here today, but there's a nice mixture. There's a lot of ambient lighting inside that you can change a lot. So the biggest differences really are the driver's binnacle just here. It's really, really small. Initially I was kind of taken aback by that, but the reason is that they've gone for a really high quality heads-up display. So it's almost like the driver's binnacle there just becomes secondary to what's on the window screen there. Less distracting, keep your eyes on the road and get all the information that you need. The new screen here is fantastic as well. Now the resolution is really, really good, but it's a lot bigger. So it's a 15-inch screen, and the sliders down the bottom here are now illuminated. And that was a big concern with the older ID models, not so with this one. It really is a huge step up. Permanent access to climate control, heated seats and things like that. Then at the top, we've got a lot of shortcut buttons here as well, and it's great to get such good functionality. So you've got a menu up here, so you can get your home button, you can go back and have a list of all your apps here between telephone, navigation, vehicle, air conditioning, charging, the whole lot. It's all there. If you have Android Auto or CarPlay plugged in, there's a great switch there just to toggle between the two, which makes it great if you want to use various features of the car, but then switch back to Google Maps or something that you might be using. Although this car has really, really good features. Also, what's impressive is the voice activation. They've done a huge amount of work on just making it seamless now. So you can just talk to your ID car, you can name the car whatever you want, it'll respond to you, you can make requests of it. It really is impressive from what we've seen so far. The ID.7 has an increased motor, so we're up to 210 kilowatts of power compared to some of the other models on the MEB platform, which are around that 135 or 150, and you can really feel the difference. But it's got a very, very long wheelbase. It's 2.97 meters long. We are on the 20-inch tires here as well, so it's nice and comfortable. When it comes to talking about Volkswagen and the ID range, gone are the days of petrol and diesel combustion engines. What we're talking about now are electric motors. And what we have here is what's driving the ID.7. Just look at the size of it. Now this unit sits just in behind the back seats. It's a rear wheel drive unit, and this puts out 210 kilowatts of power. Now that's about 286 horsepower in old money and 545 newton meters of torque. So this thing really can move. But one of the great things about it is its efficiency. We've seen the MEB platform developing over time, and this is the next generation of that, so they're getting much better efficiency out of it and consequently much better range. So when we're talking about hitting WLTP targets of about 700 kilometers, it's a unit like this that makes that possible. And they're doing that in a few different ways. Of course, we're not going to get down into the gritty of it, but the main ones are the likes of the magnets that they're using, a little bit more powerful, a little bit more resistant to heat. Also, the way that they're lubricating it is much more efficient, and overall helps us to get that extra bit of range, which is also important when we're talking about our EVs. I'm really impressed with the seats in the ID.7. Quite comfortable, all animal-free products, of course, recyclable materials, but they're very comfortable. They've also upgraded it in the sense that they're now massaged, they're heated, they're cooled. It really is great functionality, great adjustability, and really, really comfortable. This is where we charge up the ID.7, and interesting, look at this, opens up in that direction. So we have two sockets here. On top is the Type 2 connection, so that's your AC charger, and there we're looking at 11 kilowatts, which is a pretty tidy figure. Then take off the flap at the bottom just here, the extra 2 pins, that's the CCS connector, DC charger, and we're going up to about 200 kilowatts. So this thing will put range back in at a very fast speed. We were really impressed with the ID.7 during the time that we spent with it. It may well take its place as Volkswagen's flagship electric vehicle. With the gigantic battery promising up to 700 kilometers of range and a powerful 210 kilowatt motor, the ID.7 will have no problem handling the demands for the Irish market. It's really comfortable inside, it's spacious, and the tech is massively improved from previous ID vehicles. What remains to be seen is the price, and this is the key point that will determine the ID.7's success in Ireland.